Hey guys, my name is Ryan Horton, I'm a Hull City supporter, and this is my season review for Hull City's 2013-14 season for the front three. So, it's been a very interesting season. I guess the highlight of the whole season is the fact that we've stayed up. You know, a lot of pundits writ us off at the start of the season saying that we didn't have the strength and depth that a lot of clubs around us did. You know, Crystal Palace pretty much buying a whole new squad, for example. But we really, muscled up. We won the games that we should really have been winning, which is why we were never really involved in a relegation scrap, simply because we beat the likes of Norwich, Cardiff, Fulham and Sunderland. You know, those 6-pointer games which really we should have been winning, and thankfully we have always remained a couple of points and a couple of wins ahead of the game, so we were never really heavily involved. We were never out of the woods, by all means, but we were well out of trouble. We didn't have the pressure that Sunderland and Crystal Palace would have to have dealt with in order to stay up. Another highlight, of course, is our FA Cup run, which got us to the final. It gave us Europa League football, which is amazing, really. I could never really imagine Hull City in Europa League football, especially after when we got relegated a couple of seasons ago. The FA Cup final leads me on to probably one of the worst months of the season, which was utter heartbreak with the final. I'll be honest, I didn't expect us to do very well in it, but to be 2-0 up and almost 3-0 as well, and to just lose it in that fashion was heartbreaking. It was an exhausting game to watch as a Hull City supporter, but we were beaten by the better team easily. Arsenal really had that strength and depth, and when you can bring players on like Wilshere and Rosicky in the 90th minute, you know that you're going to have a tough time. So we kind of knew that would be the result. It's just a shame that it had to go in that fashion where we held on for so long throughout the game. Another bad moment, I suppose, or bad highlight of the season is just the form that dipped once we knew that we were in the FA Cup final. I don't think we won a game ever since we knew that we'd be facing Arsenal in the final, and we've just got to hope that this form doesn't continue for the start of next season. Otherwise, we may be in trouble, especially with Europa League football. We don't want to stretch ourselves too thin. Anyway, my player of the season, it's probably a really obvious one, but it has to be Curtis Davies. When we initially signed him from Birmingham for 2.4 million, you'd think, yeah, he's not a star signing, but the way that he's played this season, he might well have been. And he's been fantastic. He's been a great leader for the club. He's been a great captain. And it's just a shame that he's not on that plane to Brazil. But, we're very lucky to have him. Defensively, we've been sound all season, and he's definitely one of the reasons why. Another great player this season is Tom Huddlestone, of course. He was a player that I never really expected to see at the likes of Hull City, but he's been great. He's a very calm player. When the ball comes to him, he doesn't just lash it or misplace it. He's very good with his passing. He's a very technical player, and playing alongside the likes of Jake Livermore as well, it's a very strong midfield. Anyway, that's my review of the season. Hopefully I'll be able to sit here next season at this point next year and say that we're still a Premier League team, because that is my biggest worry, and I think that's the final thing that I'll say is we've just got to do it all again. Second season syndrome is a problem, and we've got to make sure that it doesn't bite us in the backside, especially with Europa League football. Anyway, that's me. If you want to keep up to date with me, you can follow me on Twitter at YorkRaz. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the whole season. What's your best bit, your worst bit, your play of the season, and just tell me, what's on your mind about Hull City, I suppose. Thank you very much, and hopefully I will see you soon.